Hi Bantase, hi guys, welcome to my channel. Bantase sana, let us talk. Yeva? Sana, let us talk like you would talk to yourself. Yebona Bantase, like you would talk to your sister. And Eva, I'm not even gonna say like you would talk to your friends because sana, them girls out there, darling, they'll be waiting for the slightest mistake that you make so that they can laugh at you. You're gone. Some of the girls that we call our girls. So I'm not gonna say let's talk as girls. Sana, let's just talk. Yeah, so I want us to take our egos out of this one, and I want us to open our ears so that you can hear me. You understand, Amanda? And I want us to be in a position where you don't say, this never happens to me, it's not me. When I say Bantase, we're all about self-improvement. Inside out, this is the moment. Sana, grab your drinks, grab whatever you want to grab Bantase, and close the door behind you. This is us now talking with Big Sis, because Sana, no one ever say these things, Bantase. The streets will teach you. But I'm here as your big sis to tell you, in life, first of all, you're going to be faced with moments where you have to make decisions. And these are life-altering decisions at every stage of your life. Like it or not, whether you want to participate in making these decisions, you're going to be faced with moments that you need to make decisions. Bantase. Now, this is what will separate you from others when you make these life-changing decisions. You're gonna get Bantase, so stick with me. I'm going to say it to you in a way that has never been said. I'm going to approach it in a different way so that when you are faced with that moment that you have to make a decision, Bantase, you follow the steps. And also, Bantase, keep in mind that some of us don't have mothers in our homes, or people. It's not the responsibility of a mother, by the way, or people that can break certain things for us down in a way that we understand, in a granular way. Do you get me, Bantase? So this is the moment. In life, Bantase, you'll be presented with decision-making moments, whether those decisions are big or small. Do you get me, Bantase? Now it's up to you, Bantase, to make an informed decision based on the information that you would have collected, Bantase, at that specific time, right, for that particular decision. So where I'm going with this, Bantase, is you need to ask yourself, what was that decision that I've made in the past, right? And I'm saying in the past, Bantase, it could be 3 years ago, right? It could be 5 years ago. It could have been actually 10 years ago, 20 years ago, Bantase. I need you to ask yourself, Bantase, because today, let us face ourselves. Today, I'm facing myself. You are facing yourself. Yeah, Bantase. So I need you, as you watch me, as I'm standing here myself, I'm also doing the exercise, right? Let us ask ourselves, what was that one decision that you took? And at the time when you were taking this decision, Bantase, you thought of it and you're like, no, this is nothing. It's not gonna impact my life, right, Bantase? One way or the other. It's one of those decisions. Who cares? You understand, Bantase? You did not put thought to it, Bantase. You took that decision, and today, as we stand here, Bantase, you wake up on a daily basis. You live the experience, right? You get it, Bantase? You live the experience based on the decision that you took all those years ago. You wake up on a daily basis, right? Your daily experiences are informed by that one tiny decision, or you thought it was tiny then, you're living that experience today, Bantas. Yeah, Bantas. So I need you to ask yourself that, Bantas, right? Good or bad? Experiences, good or bad, they inform what you do when you wake up, the people around you. Right, Bantas? Life is that fair. I'm going to tell you why I'm saying life is that fair to us. And especially I'm talking to my young adults up until 40 years of age. Bantas. Life is that fair to us. Bantas. All of us in the beginning. Right? From a certain age, you are given what we call grace. Clean grace, by the way. God says, go there, my child. Go see. Go see. Go choose what you like. What you like to associate yourself with. That is clean grace. And I'm saying it's clean grace because you don't have to clean up any mess. You didn't get yourself in any mess, so you don't have to clean up any mess but us. So it is clean grace like that. God has empowered us with free will to go and choose what we associate ourselves with. So he gives us free will, Bantas. So that is clean grace, Bantas, to say, go, my child, go see and pick what you want for yourself, what you want to associate yourself with, whether be business relationships, right? Whether be partnerships, intimate partnerships, whether be friendships, Mandasa, you're gone, whether be a job. I know in a job, it's not equally fair because, Mandasa, sometimes you don't have a choice, okay? But sometimes you are faced with two options to choose a job. You have two offers, right? Sometimes. So, but we park that on the side. But in business relationships, Mandasa, you see someone else's business flourishing. You go and approach and say, I want to partner with your business. Right? That's the time of your grace. Okay. Or you see, or a man or a friend approaches you, let us form a friendship before we get into marriage. And then in your time of grace that God affords us, that we all afford it, because life is fair at first until we make informed, uninformed decisions. And then you use your time of grace because you go to a coffee with this potential business partner. You go to a coffee date, you interact, you do your due diligence to understand his background. The business engagement that this person has been before. So you have collected data. Also in partnerships and friendships, you go on coffee dates, you meet up, and as you link up, that is your clean grace time. You're collecting data in terms of how is this person, how is this business partner, how is this friend, do they align with my values, Bandas? And in business, Bandas, you saw this business flourishing, right? But now in that time of grace where you have the interaction, Bandas, right? You collecting data, you realize by your son in this business, as much as this is flourishing, Bantas, by the time we cash up or check in or close the business door at the end of the day, Bantas, you are not at peace, darling. Money is coming in. There's no scarcity of money. Money is coming in left and right, but you don't have peace at the end of the day. So that means, Bantas, you have the data you need. You've collected the information you need to now make an informed decision. But when once Kala is full with your chest out, you said, yes, I'm getting into this business that does not align with your values. Same as in friendships, partnerships. You went on a date with this guy and there were red flags, Bantas. If you visit Bantase. It doesn't ask you the right questions. What do you like? What's your vision for the future? Do you understand, Bantase? Or you don't ask yourself because kaloku you are blinded by love, Bantase. Now you're not using your brain, you're using your emotions. And you make an informed decisions, and then you get into this union. Let's start there. You get into this union, Bantase, and then you find out later, but we were not compatible from the beginning. But now we are deep in the marriage or in the relationship, Bantase. Yava? Bantase, who are you going to blame, darling? Who are you going to blame? Because you had grace, time to go see. Yeah, Bantase. Also in friendships, you had grace, time to go see, but you chose out of your free will that God affords all of us to say, I am going to associate myself with this kind of person, this kind of partner, right? We're going to do life together. This kind of businessman, we're going to go into business together. So you have no one to blame but yourself, Bantase. Hence, I'm saying you have the time that is called grace, clean grace. You don't have to correct anything. You're not in trouble. You didn't sign any contract to get into that business. You're not married, Bantase. So now you're able to make your informed decisions to say, do I want to be in partnership for a lifetime with this kind of partner? Yeah, Bantase. And sometimes what happens, Bantase, you have to do serious due diligence, Bantase, in terms of finding out. You have to really find out what kind of person you're going to be spending the rest of your life with, Bantase. Yeah, so that you don't find yourself in situations where people are saying, because I hear it most of the time, we are married to other people's soulmate. Because when Bantase, we are one, you rush things, you didn't give yourself time. Sometimes you don't even know yourself. Therefore, how are you going to know the other person? Yeah, you know that? Because your person has to know by my darling cannot sleep without having his socks like cold feet. Yeah, so she can't sleep. So those are the things that you did not discuss in the beginning, Bantase. Yeah, you did not do your own due diligence, or sometimes you get into these unions because upper and next or your friend or your age mates are getting into unions, Bantase, and now you become part of the stats. And sometimes, Bantase, it's not because you knew information was not flowing. We were not talking before like this, or you did not have family members or someone that can tell you in your family, but how do you make choices in life so that you don't find yourself, Bantase, in a wrong position, trying to solve problems on a daily basis, waking up with experience that do not align with who you are. Yeah, but because life, Bantase, at every turning point presents us with options to choose. But when you got into the trap, now you're living an experience that you do not like, and you become resentful, you become bitter because you didn't give yourself time, that grace time. You didn't give yourself time, Bantase, or you misused the information that you were given at that particular stage of grace to go see Danam. As God will put it. Go see, my darling, what is it that you like? Who you want to be associated with? Who is going to be your business partner? Who is going to be your life partner? Who are the friends that are around you? Hence, I'm saying life is that fair until it's not fair, because when, with your chest out, you made an informed decision, darling. And you have no one to blame but yourself. However, Bantase, until you are at the point to say, as I'm standing here, as you are there, to say, what was that little decision that I made that has changed the trajectory of my entire life. But us, and then you admit and say, yo, I made a mistake. And you correct where you can correct, Bantas. But in life, there's situations, Bantas, that you can't get out of certain things. Even if you get out, you'll have to deal with that business partner still. You'll have to deal with that partner still, Bantas. In fact, in partnership with men or female, there's children now, Bantas. Yeah, Bantas. There's children involved, Bantas. You have to see this person, like it or not. You have to see this person, Bantas, that has altered the entire existence of your life, Bantas. Yeah, so I'm talking to you young ladies because now, Bantas, you are all that you have. You have to guard that with everything that you have, Bantas. Ubenomona ngawe. Yebo? In fact, Bantas, like I always say, shortlist, darling. Do your shortlisting and do them correctly. Just like any job. Reference check. Yava? Who are you? Are you who you say you are? And how's your family background, by the way? Because when we get into this partnership, this unions, Bantas, you're not getting into that partnership with that one person. Because that at some point might interfere in your marriage, Bantas. There'll be uncles that you're gonna have to deal with. There'll be relatives that you're gonna have to deal with. How are they? Are they successful in their own lives? Success, Bantas, is not money. Success is not money. There's people with money, but Bantas, they're not happy. Success is not money. Success is not money, Bantas. If you didn't know, that's not success. Success is peace. Success is happiness. And you won't be 100% at peace or 100% happy, but that is how you look at people who are successful. That's how you measure success, Bantas. Are you at peace where you are? Based on the decision that you've made in the past and you're living that experience, is your experience peaceful where you are, Bantas? Are you happy, Bantas? How many things are you correcting? Bantas? And I'm here to tell you, because no one told us. You find out the hard way in the streets. The streets will always teach you, Bantas, the hard way. But I'm here to tell you, darlings, but how you make those decisions. What are the methods that you need to apply? And what works for me might not work for you. What works for you might not work for me. But as long as you are comfortable with your decisions. There's that thing that we say when you maybe say buying a car, or buying an outfit ticket, to simplify it like that. And then you say, oh, when I saw it, it jumped on me. Bantas. So even when you're making decisions, Bantas, they need to speak to who you are, to the core of you, who you are. Bantas. And then you need to do your own little investigation. But you've also your business is successful. You've done business with these people. How did it turn out? Like a proper business. Look at Nedbank and FNB. I'm sure when they deal with each other, Sana, it's mutual respect. Bantas. Injalo. Bantas. So you have choices, but it's how you make choices, Bantas, that will define who you are. That will put you apart from the rest. Nothing else. Nothing else, Bantas. There's no God's favorite, no. I've always told you. It's how you apply your decision-making method. Bantas. Otherwise, you'll find yourself on the other side. Where you're bitter, where you can't relate, Bantas, where you are scared of making decisions. And sometimes, Bandasa, you're gonna be faced with two options. And how will you know which one is the best from which one? Yeah, Bandasa. At that moment, don't make a decision. You don't have to, by the way. Sit it out, darling. Think on it. You understand, Bandasa? Because one slight mistake, Bandasa, will define the rest of your life, Bandasa. And you only have one life, one chance, one life, Bandasa. And I'm talking to my young ladies up to 40 years of age, because you are what makes the world go around. You are the target. At any given point in your life, you are faced with decision-making moments. Slight bad move is checkmate, darling. It is checkmate, darling. Take it from me, your big sis, who has seen it all. And these are things that we don't talk about, Mandasa. You only find out in your life, yo, boom, what have I gotten myself into? Yeah, Mandasa. Another factor, we come from families, Mandasa, that have certain beliefs, that have lived certain experiences. So they know what they know, Shem. You can't blame them. They're exposed to what they're exposed to. They don't know that there's options out there. So now you are pushed into making certain decisions. By the way, a story within our chart, Bandase. When we were in grade 9, standard 9, but grade 9, standard 9, but grade 11, right? In grade 11, Bandase, you are coach's age, around 16, 17, right? Ne, Bandase, you are a baby. You don't even know yourself. By the way, let's just start there. So we were 3 girls, we're friends, and one of our friends, it was around August, right? One of our friends, Bandase, just park, I've said, we are in grade 11, it's around August, park that, I'm coming back to it. We're in grade 11, so she comes one day to school. That's where we meet, most schoolmates. And then she's wearing iduku, like a kriya, iduku. And then she's wearing ikyali, that blanket you put with the big pin. And then she's wearing idaki. Yandiva, a skirt. It's a Xhosa outfit that symbolizes that you are about to be a bride, darling. Now tell me, at her tender age of 17 years, Bandas, she's about to be a bride. And we ask her, Chomi, so why are you dressed like this? Did someone pass away? Because that's what we related it to. Especially Mna, coming from a family of 4. It's me, my mother, my sister, no one else. I have not seen people getting married around you. You're young. And then you ask, and then show me what happened to you. Why are you wearing this cultural outfit? And then she reveals to us, Chomi, people came to my house, Chomi, during the weekend. So we had a ceremony. I was lobolat. Someone came for me. Okay. And that's how she explained this as a baby that she was then. But someone, a fully grown adult, because I'm sure it was not someone her age, because we're in school, which you have a boyfriend just to carry your school bag, nothing serious that time. So she's like, someone came, so there was a ceremony, everything is done. Henceforth, I have to wear this outfit. I am a bride. To be a bride, price has been paid. That time we did not make much of it, but as you grow, now you realize, Sana, adults in her family made that choice for her. So her destiny was sealed on her behalf, Bandas. How sad is that? She stood no chance in this life to make her own informed decision. She never had the time of grace like we have. Go see. That decision was made for her. And who knows, Bantas, because I said we bring that back. I said we must park, but we're in grade 11. 17. Who knows if she continued with her education, Bantas. Therefore, the experience that she's living today, Bantas, was decided for her. It was decided for her by the adults in her family. Hence, I'm saying sometimes we come from families who believe what they believe because that's the only thing that they know. All they know is that you are a girl child at a certain age. As young as she was a baby. She had no business to be married to anyone. In fact, she doesn't even know her own touch points, her own sensitive points, Bandas. She's still growing. She's still becoming. Yandiva Bandas. She still has the right to be in school. Yeah, Bandas. She had to now go and be someone's bride, Emakaya, in the villages, in the homeland, in Eastern Cape. Then, Bandas, the issue about school was not even spoken of. So, she might have ended up being an illiterate adult, Bandas. And never. She stood no chance. Now she had to tender to that old man because that was an adult. It was a working adult that came for her hand in marriage, Bandas. And never. So that's all she will know until she's in a place of realizing what? This is not the experience I want for myself. And that's what causes people to be bitter, Bandas, and resentful. And people, Bandas. So she had no fighting chance, like me and you, to make informed decisions. Yeah, it was made for her. How unfair is that? She never stood a chance. How sad is that, Bandas? Yeah, how sad is that? She never stood a chance. She never stood a fighting chance. And you can only hope that our God was with her in all of this, so that Sana, she can be restored to her fullness, Bandas. You imagine, but as soon as she got into that marriage, Sana, kids, trap. Yeah, Bandas? Kids, trap. Now she's a young mom. She can't even mother. She doesn't even know herself. She's faced with all of these issues, Bandas. Yeah? And back then, you could not even say yes or no. You just have no voice. You're just an object. You're a woman. Yeah, Bandas. Cruelty against a girl child again. And I understand, Bandas, the way we are here in the townships, but we don't have the privilege of making informed choices, Bandasa, because sometimes socio-economy issues, sometimes you can't say no. Sometimes there's things that you can benefit. But they will still put you in trouble, Bandas. So it's best you prepare yourself as a person, as a young adult, so that you can face the world with your two eyes open, Bandas, so that you're not at the mercy of people. And you make your informed decisions because you can, not because you have to. So she never stood a chance, oh baby girl. And sometimes, Bandas, you will be approached, Bandas, because Sana Wena, you are a beautiful girlie. You have everything going for you. I've seen it a lot. You have everything going for you, Bandase. You have your small anyana car. You have a cute darling. You have your little job. But your future is bright in the next 5 to 10 years. And they pick you, Bandase, because they can benefit. It's happening a lot these days, Bandase. People are strategic in their picking women. So you have to guard Bantas, because you would think by your dithandiwe or I've been chosen, can't. It's a selfish choice on their part. They're choosing you because they have things to gain, and the idea of having you around, what it might do for them. So you have to really apply yourself and think about it. Don't do what they are doing next door, or what your friend is doing, or what you see might not align with who you are. Don't get into commitments, because someone else is in a commitment, or you thinking of age. No, wait it out, darling. Get to know yourself first. Get to know yourself fully, so you can be a contributing partner in the relationship, not a partner that is dependent, not a partner that is uninformed. So that there's respect and there's peace. And imagine, if you are loved right, darling, the glow in you, man. The glow in you, if you are loved correctly, because now you've met someone who is compatible with you, who understands you, and it's not going to be 100% because there's nothing perfect, but someone who understands your values, your goals. Someone that will nurture you back, because we tend to nurture as well. Someone will nurture you back and love you correctly. You're not stressed, darling. So you're able to focus on other important things, because you're not stressed, because you don't wake up in a bad experience, start arguing about things that are not going to build the both of you. And I'm not saying even in the good relationships or almost perfect partnerships, they don't argue. Yes, they argue, but there is respect. So be careful how you choose who you associate yourself with, Bandas. And then we have people around us as well that know by the people that you are surrounding yourself with are not good for you. But they don't say Bandas, because they'll be happy to see you fall. You must do your due diligence, Bandas. You must be careful about yourself, otherwise you'll end up on the wrong side. And there's a very nice side, Bandas. There's a very nice side that does not come out on these socials often. There's a very good side in business partnerships. We see them. Businesses are flourishing. Marriages are flourishing. And if the mother is happy, the children are happy. The marriage is prosperous. People are focusing on things that they need to focus on. We are glowish, Abandas. Because you are carrying all this load all by yourself. It's stress. So there's good and bad experiences that will come as a result of your one little tiny choice. So do that for yourself, Bandas, and just check how am I where I am today? What happened to me? Where did I go wrong? Because if you don't do that, Bandas, you're not going to be able to go into the next stage of life. And you're going to meet different kinds of people. There'll be traps for you until you fall on it. There'll be traps for you, Bandas, to choose until you make the wrong choice, and then you fall on the trap, Bandas, and you become a statistic. You become sick, you become stressed, and stress changes a person. They become ugly. Frank talk, Bandas, they become ugly because you're stressed. You don't want to do anything. You're stressed, Bandas. So ask yourself, wherever you are, Bandas, am I on the right direction? Do I need to check where I'm going or where I went wrong? Where I'm going, where I intend going. Is it the right place for me? Does it align with my values as a person? Because we're talking today. Yeah, I wonder, this is July. Next year, July, darling. Yeah, never. What's going to become of you? That's how decisions started. You made a decision in this July that will impact your next July. I wanted us to talk on that, but as part of facing ourselves. Yeah, because no one's going to face you. And you don't want to be someone onguzwilakhe ngokwena nawuxelelo. And you can't even tell yourself. Do you understand, Bandasi? When now you are oblivious about how life works and things and the decisions that you've made. You are just walking through. You'll walk through to the bedside as well. Yeah, Bandasi. Njalo ke darling. Another little story, Bandasi. As I'm talking about life decisions and life choices. A friend of mine, Bandasi, was telling me, hey, friend, I have a friend. We went on dinner, like you go with your bestie, your girlfriend, you go on a dinner, you try to get to know them. So we went on a dinner, and then she's like, oh, I'm here. So we met at this spot, everything, we started chatting, blah, blah, blah. In the middle of chatting, this friend says, hey, I'm just checking on my wallet. I don't have the money. I thought the money would be into my account now by the time we are eating here. My friend says, then I'm like, okay, so what do you need to do? And then this girl says, no pay, friend, I'll pay next time. And then my friend says, okay, hey, Mchan and Komba, hi man, I don't have money, I budgeted, but I was coming here thinking basizao, split a bill. Yeah? It's the first time I'm meeting this girl. I don't know her like that. We can do that with your friend that you know. Hi, can we pay? I know you always pay. But someone you don't know. Let's say me and you, we meet for the first time, and then you're coming with these issues. Sana, njani ngoku, my darling? Uyenza njani into njani? Awuzilungiselelanga apho uvela khona. Yayiva Bandasi? Uthi ndithi, hey, first red flag. According to your wrong, it happens. Okay, that's fine. I'll let it slide. I'll pay. Okay, uthi hayi bahlale ke bemandi, they continue with dinner and drinks, but now she's telling you about, I guess since you're not paying kesana, easy on the drinks, akonto. Hayi bahlale bemandi, uthi friend. Then this friend proceeds to say to her, hey, sana wena, una that thing, man. Uthi my friend iti, okay, what do you mean by another thing? Uti ate another thing. Uti hi man, explain chono. Uti, you know what? Uti this girl says to her, I am someone who is spiritually gifted. I can wash you. Ne? Uti chomi am diti, hey, dihlale ngoku apha esitulweni ndithi, okay, explain. Uti iti this lady, there's a process where I can wash you, and then the second time I can wash you 5 times in my place, and then I'll hand you over to 5 more people to wash you. Uti my friend, it was about what's the intention of this washing process. Uti no man, washing you because I can see unelaka and just into zakho ziblocked. Uthi mtshana ndithi, hey, qha ndingafuna ukupanika because I'm a Jesus girl, ne? But let her speak her mind out. She's allowed to. Uthi ndithi nyani. Uthi friend ibuza uba uhlala phi. Yabona? Does this thing happen at your place or in the church? Yandiva Bandasi. People we meet. Questionable people we meet. What do you eat to this girl? No, it will happen in my place. See, there's candles, there's this, and then I'll wash you, Bandasi. What my friend did, hi man. Have you done this before to people? Yeah, I do it all the time. Ne? Hey. Utitsho mndiqomba man, there's no way kaloku. Yava? First of all, you can't even pay the bill. Secondly, neka ndikuphe i-lift ndiyokubeka e-bus stop, ne? Thirdly, Bandase, where you say you are staying, levels as funny and where in comparison to where I'm staying. But when you want to wash me, hey, hey, now I'm left with choosing to be ignorant and greedy, Yava, Bandase, and go and wash with this girl that is living a life that's not at par with my lifestyle, but she wants to help me. Couldn't she help herself with this washing process? Yeah, people you're going to meet in these streets. Yeah, in that time of grace where God says, go and see my child and choose what you want to be associated with. Yeah, mhlawumbi la washing iyasebenza for yena asaz, but Bandase, the Bible says we shall know them by their fruits. Yandiva Bandase, we shall know them by their fruits. Bandase, itsho iBhayibhile. Uthi umtshana ngiqomba, hey, man, zithini scriptures zami about this? Yava, bandimamele mtshana ba le ntombazana. If you could not help yourself, now you want to help me. I mean, utumchana, I could have agreed and went on with that process. Where would I have been today? Yeah, you understand the kind of decision moments that you'll be faced with. It could be jobs, it could be such situations, it could be partners, it could be business partners, it could be friends, but it is up to you. The ball is in your court in this life. Yeah, because as young as you are the target, Bandas. Any slight mistake you make, you're gone, darling. No second chances. Now who are you going to blame, Bandas? You went to see and chose to do what does not align with your values. And then it got you to a place that you cannot return, Bandas. Yeah, Bandas. So I'm talking to you as your big sister that you're going to be faced with such moments. Be careful. Guard yourself with all that you have. In fact, you don't have to choose if you don't want to. Yeah, Babandase, because you find yourself on the wrong side of things, of life, Bandase. And really, God doesn't hate anyone. By the way, He gives us all an opportunity, equal opportunity to choose. Yes, there's moments where our backgrounds don't afford us that, and we are at the mercy of certain people. But where you can, where you are an adult that can feed yourself, and then you make such informed decisions, Mandasi, you have no one to blame. The only recourse, you can only say, hey, I made a mistake, and correct where you can. So I leave you with that today, Mandasi. Those stories within the chat and that little homework, Mandasi, for yourself. I'm also doing it for myself to say where I'm standing. Am I living the best experience for myself and my future? So you do that for yourself. That's how you self-check. So that you don't find yourself deep in problems in the next 5 years. And things are going to be tough. Things are going to be tough, Mandas, if you find yourself on the other side. So be careful. Apply all of your senses, emotionally, spiritually, your intellect, Mandas, everything that you can apply. Bye guys, let me know what you think, Bandasi. So we'll have discussions like this, a story or a chat, you know, as and when something triggers the discussion. But it's not going to be planned, not something that I know what I will talk about next, but it's going to be something that I'm like, oh, Bandasi Bam need to know about this. Thank you guys. I leave you with that thought. Thank you for watching. Bye.